you. Let's start with a truth you might not like. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to stop wasting the hours you already have. Every person on this planet gets the same. 24 hours. The difference isn't how much time you receive. The difference is what you do with it. Some people use their time to build, some use it to learn, some use it to exercise, some use it to create, some use it to improve their future, and some spend hours scrolling watching random videos, checking notifications, procrastinating, and then wondering, where did my day go? Maybe you've done that. You wake up, you check your phone, one video becomes 5, 5 becomes 20. Suddenly, an hour is gone. Then you tell yourself, I'll start later. Later becomes evening, evening becomes night, and today we're going to take control of those pieces. Because if you don't control your time, something else will. One time is your most expensive currency. Why think about money? If someone stole 1,000 from you, you would probably care. If someone stole 10,000, you'd definitely care. But what if someone stole 3 hours from you? You probably wouldn't even notice. And that's the problem. Money can be earned again. Time cannot dot if you lose meal today. You can potentially earn meal tomorrow. But if you lose 3 hours today, those 3 hours are gone forever. You cannot buy them back. You cannot rewind them. You cannot negotiate with yesterday. That's why time is more valuable than money. And yet, people protect their money more carefully than they protect their time. They'll think twice before spending 500, but they'll spend 3 hours scrolling without thinking. That's backwards. You need to start treating your time like something extremely valuable. Because it is too, your day is being stolen in small pieces. Most people don't destroy their productivity with one decision. They do it through tiny decisions. 5 minutes on Instagram, minutes on YouTube, 20 minutes checking messages, another 10 minutes scrolling shorts, another 15 minutes watching random content. It doesn't feel dangerous. Add it together. 5 minutes here, 10 there, 20. Somewhere else, suddenly hours are gone. The scary part, you don't even feel like you wasted them. That's how distraction works. It doesn't announce itself. It simply steals small pieces of your attention until the day disappears. 3, stop saying, I don't have time. We've already talked about this on day. For today, we're going deeper. When someone says, I don't have time, ask, what are you spending your time on? Because your calendar tells the truth. Your intentions don't. You might say, I want to get fit. But your schedule says you spend 2 hours every night scrolling. You might say, I want to build a career, but your schedule says you spend 3 hours watching entertainment. You might say, I want to learn a skill, but your schedule says you never practice. Your goals don't care what you say. You want that your results come from what you repeatedly do. Your schedule reveals your priorities. 4. Your phone is designed to steal your ATM. Be honest. Your phone is one of the biggest threats to your focus. Not because phones are evil, because they're designed to keep you engaged. One notification, one message, one video, one recommendation, one more scroll, and your brain keeps asking, what's next? You don't even need to make a decision. The algorithm makes the next decision for you. That's dangerous. Because your attention is your life. Whatever gets your attention hits your time, and whatever gets your time gets a piece of your life. So protect your attention. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Put your phone away when working. Don't sleep with it in your hand, and stop checking it every 5 minutes. You don't need to respond to everything immediately. 5. The first hour, MAT. Start your day affects how you experience the rest of it. Imagine waking up and immediately checking social media. Your brain gets hit with hundreds of other people's lives. Someone is richer. Someone is traveling. Someone is arguing. Someone is showing their success. Someone is posting bad news before you've even gotten out of bed. Your attention belongs to everyone else. Instead, try starting your day deliberately. Wake up, drink water. Move your body. Think about your priorities. Write down what matters, then start. The first hour doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be intentional. 6. Stop MLT at SCAN GP. People think multitasking makes them productive. Usually it doesn't. You're studying while checking your phone, working while answering messages, watching a video while scrolling, trying to do 5 things at once. The result, nothing receives your full attention. Your brain keeps switching, and every switch costs focus. Instead, choose one task, set a timer. Work, finish, or reach a clear stopping point. Then move to the next thing. One task, one focus, one block of time. Simple. But extremely effective. 7. Use the 60-minute focus via something you can try today. Choose your most important task. Set a timer for 60 minutes during those. 60 minutes, no social media. No random browsing, no necessary. Messages. No entertainment. Does one task. You might be surprised how much you can accomplish in one. Focused hour. One focused hour every day becomes 7 hours a week. Around 30 hours a month. Hundreds of hours a year. Imagine what you could build with hundreds of focused hours. That's how progress happens. Through one magical day, through repeated focused hours. 8. Learn to say, every yes has a cost. When you say yes to another distraction, you're saying no to something else. Yes to another useless conversation might mean no to your work. Yes to another hour of scrolling might mean no to your workout. Yes to another unnecessary commitment. Might mean no to your goals. You don't need to attend everything. You don't need to respond to everyone. You don't need to be available all the time. Protect your priorities. Sometimes. The most productive word in your vocabulary is no. 9. Priorities come before busy and SSB, and busy doesn't mean you're productive. You could be busy all day and accomplish nothing important. Answering messages, organizing files, checking emails, watching productivity, videos. Making endless plans. These things can feel productive, but ask, did I actually move my most important goal forward? That's the real question. You don't need a longer to-do list. You need a better one. Every morning. Identify your top 3 priorities. Not 15.3. Ask, if I accomplish only these 3 things today, will today still be a good day? If yes, that you know what matters. 10. The 80-20. It's arguably not everything you do has equal value. Some tasks create enormous results. Others barely matter. Think about your goals. Maybe 1 hour spent learning. A valuable skill is worth more than 5 hours of random activity. Maybe one important conversation is worth more than 20 meaningless messages. Maybe one focused workout is worth more than hours of thinking about getting fit. Find the actions that create the biggest results, then prioritize them. Don't just ask, what can I do? Ask, what matters most? That's the difference between activity and progress. 11. Stop waiting for motivation. You don't need to feel motivated to use your time properly. Motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you'll feel amazing. So many mornings you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. The other days you'll want to do nothing. If your schedule depends on motivation, your consistency will collapse. Instead, create systems. Decide beforehand. When will I work? When will I exercise? When will I study? When will I relax? The goal is to reduce decisions. You shouldn't wake up every day asking, what should I do today? You should already know. 12. Procrastination is not a time. PROBLM. Procrastination usually isn't about not knowing what to do. It's exhausting. The project feels overwhelming. So you avoid it. You clean something, check your phone, watch a video, get something to eat, anything except the task. Here's the solution. Make the first step ridiculously small. Don't say I'm going to work for 4 hours. Say, I'm going to work for 10 minutes. Don't say, I'm going to read the entire book. Say, I'm going to read 5 pages. Don't say, I'm going to completely transform my body. Say, I'm going to train today. Starting is often harder than continuing, so make starting easy. 13. Don't let other people plan your day. Every notification is somebody asking for your attention. Every message, every call, every social media update. Every email. If you respond to everything immediately, your day becomes controlled by other people. You wake up with your own goals, then you spend the entire day responding to everyone else's priorities. At night, you wonder why you didn't make progress. You need time where nobody gets access to you. Time to think, time to work, time to create, time to build. At 14. Create a distraction-free environment environment should make productivity easier. If your phone is on your desk, you'll probably check it. If the TV is running, you'll probably watch it. If your workspace is messy, your brain has more distractions. So make the environment simple. Clean your desk, put the phone away, close unnecessary tabs, use headphones if needed. Tell people you're working. Create a clear work zone. You don't need incredible willpower when your environment supports you. 15. Learn to be bored. This might sound strange, but boredom is valuable. If every moment you're bored, you immediately reach for your phone. Your brain never gets quiet. You're constantly consuming. Constant stimulation makes focused work feel harder. So me time. Don't nothing. Walk without your phone. Sit quietly. Think. Write. Observe. Let your brain breathe. You don't need entertainment every second of the day. Sometimes your best ideas appear when nothing is happening. 16. Your night determines your tomorrow. Don't just manage your mornings. Manage your evenings. Before going to sleep, look at your day. Ask, what went well? What wasted my time? What matters tomorrow? Then, prepare. Set your priorities. Prepare what you need. Clean your workspace. Put your phone away. Go to sleep at a reasonable time. You're not just ending today. You're preparing tomorrow. 17. Don't try to control every minute. Time management doesn't mean filling every second. That's another mistake. You need space. You need rest. You need fun. You need relationships. You need recovery. Rest isn't automatically wasted time. The problem is unintentional consumption. There's a difference between I'm going to relax for 1 hour and I open my phone and somehow lost 4 hours. One is intentional. The other is accidental. You need both work and recovery, but control the choice. 18. Your future is made of hours. Think about your future as a collection of hours. Your body is built from hours of training. Your skills are built from hours of practice. Your career is built from hours of work. Your knowledge is built from hours of learning. Your relationships are built from hours of connection. Your life is basically the result of how you spend your hours. So ask yourself, where are my hours going? Not your intentions. Yours. Because your hours are building something. The question is, what are they building? 19. The 1 hour rule starting today. Try to protect 1 hour every day for your future. 1 hour. No distractions. No excuses. No multitasking. 1 hour dedicated to something that improves your life. Learn a skill. Exercise. Build your business. Create content. Study. Read. Work on your career. Whatever matters to you. 1 hour doesn't sound massive. But 1 hour every day for a year is 365 hours. That's a serious amount of focused work. Imagine what you could become after 365 hours of deliberate effort. That's the power of consistency. 20. Day 6 challenge today. I want you to do 5 things. TASK. 1. Check your screen time. Look at your phone. Find your daily average. Don't judge it. Just look at the number. Be honest. TASK. To find your biggest time waster social media, gaming, random videos, unnecessary conversation. Whatever it is. Identify Italiano. Task 3. Remove one distraction, delete it. Block Italiano. Limiti Italiano. Muovo Italiano. Do something. TASK 4. Complete one 60-minute focus block, 1 hour. One task, 0 distractions. Task 5. Plan tomorrow, tonight. Write down your top 3 priorities. When tomorrow arrives. Don't think, execute. Final message time doesn't wait 1 day. You're going to look back at this period of your life. You're going to remember the hours you had, the opportunities you had, the energy you had, the freedom you had, and you'll wish you had used some of it differently. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up, because today is still available. You still have time. Maybe you wasted yesterday. Fine. Yesterday's gone. Maybe you wasted last month. Fine. It's gone. Maybe you've wasted years. You can't change that. But you can control what happens next. And that starts with one decision. Stop giving your time away. Stop letting your phone decide what you think about. Stop letting notifications decide what you do. Stop letting other people control every hour. Stop wasting your best energy on things that don't matter. Your time is your life. When you give away your time, you're giving away pieces of your life. So protect Italiano. Use it. Invest it. Spend it intentionally. You don't need to become productive every second. You don't need a perfect schedule. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't need 20 productivity apps. You need to know what matters and give your time to it. Because your future isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's being created by what you do with your hours today. One focused hour. One important task. One disciplined decision. Repeated again and again. That's how ordinary days become extraordinary lives. This is day 6. Yesterday, we changed the way you think. Today, We're changing the way you use the most valuable thing you have, your time. Don't waste it waiting. Don't waste it scrolling. Don't waste it complaining. Use it to build the life you keep saying you want. 1 hour, one decision, one day at a time. See you on day 7. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many decisions in your life are actually yours? Not your parents' decisions, not your friends' decisions, not society's decisions, not the internet's decisions, yours. What career do you want? What kind of person do you want to become? What do you want to build? Where do you want your life to go? And most importantly, would you still choose the same life if nobody could judge you? Think about that, because a lot of people aren't living the life. They're living a version of life that they think other people will approve of. They don't start because what? Will people say? They don't change because my friends will laugh. They don't try because what if I fail in front of everyone? They don't follow their goals because my family won't understand. And slowly, they trade their dreams for approval. Today is day 7, and we're going to talk about something that can quietly control your entire life. They need to be accepted by everyone. 1, you cannot please. Something you need to accept no matter what you do. Someone will have a problem with it. You can work hard. Someone will say you're obsessed. You can relax. Someone will say you're lazy. You can become successful. Someone will say you got lucky. You can fail. Someone will say they knew you couldn't do it. You can stay quiet. Someone will call you boring. You can speak. Someone will call you annoying. You cannot win this game because people have different opinions, different expectations, different insecurities, different values. So if your goal is to make everyone happy, you've chosen an impossible goal. Stop trying. 2. Approval is ADDC. Approval feels good. Someone says, I'm proud of you. You feel good. Someone likes your post. You feel good. Someone compliments you. Joel, feel good. Someone agrees with your decision. You feel safe. There's nothing wrong with enjoying appreciation. The problem starts when you need it, when you can't make a decision without asking someone, when you need people to agree before you move, when one negative comment destroys your confidence, when criticism makes you abandon your goals. That's no longer appreciation, that's dependence. And when you depend on other people's approval, they get control over your emotions. 3, stop asking what will people think. This question has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. What will people think? Let's be honest. Most people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you imagine. They're busy thinking about themselves. Their problems, their money, their relationships, their appearance, their future. Their own insecurities. You could spend an entire week worrying about what someone might say and they might forget about it in 10 minutes. So why are you allowing imaginary opinions to control real decisions? Ask yourself, if nobody could see what I'm doing, would I still want this? If the answer is yes, that's important. For your friends may not understand your the people around you won't understand your ambition. You decide to wake up earlier, they say. Why are you doing all this? You start exercising, bro, relax. You stop partying every weekend. You've changed. You start building something. Do you really think that's going to work? They might not be trying to hurt you. They may simply see the world differently. And that's okay. You don't need everyone to understand your vision. Sometimes your job is simply to keep moving. You don't need to argue. You don't need to convince them. Let your results speak later. 5. You don't need permission to see a chenge, or the strangest things people do is wait for permission to become better. They think, maybe I should wait until someone supports me. No, you can decide today. You can change your habits. Today, you can start learning today. You can change your routine today. You can leave a bad habit today. You can start working toward a new future today. Nobody needs to sign a permission slip. Your life belongs to you, and that means the responsibility belongs to you. 6. The fear of looking STUPI. This is a huge reason people never start. They're afraid of looking stupid. Your first video might be awkward. Your first business attempt might fail. Your first gym session might feel embarrassing. Your first public speech might be terrible. Your first attempt at anything might look amateur. So what? Everyone starts as an amateur. The person you're watching who looks confident today was once a beginner. The person who speaks perfectly once stumbled over words. The person with an impressive body once struggled through their first workout. The successful creator once uploaded their first terrible video. Don't become good without first being bad. So let yourself be a beginner. 7. Criticism is not always an ATT. There's another mistake. When you stop seeking approval, don't become someone who refuses all criticism. That's not confidence, that's ego. Some criticism is useless. Ignore it. But some criticism is valuable. Listen to it. If someone points out a genuine weakness, don't immediately become defensive. Ask, is there something I can learn here? The goal isn't to stop caring about opinions completely. The goal is to stop letting random opinions control you. Learn to separate useful feedback, judgment. That's emotional maturity. 8. Stop explaining yourself to EV. Don't need to justify every decision. You don't need to explain why you're changing. You don't need to convince everyone that your goal is realistic. You don't need to prove your intentions. Sometimes the strongest response is, this is what I've decided. Then move. People who respect you will eventually understand. People who don't quote T. will have something to say regardless. You can't build your life around satisfying every person who has an opinion. 9. Your life is not a DMOCR. Might sound harsh, but your life cannot be a vote. If 10 people say, don't do it, and you know it's the right decision for you, you still have to decide. Imagine if every successful person waited for unanimous approval. Nothing would ever happen. Someone always thinks your idea is stupid. Someone always thinks you're dreaming too big. Someone always thinks you're wasting your time. That's normal. You don't need a majority vote. You need clarity. 10. Social media makes approval. WRSC social media turns approval into numbers. Likes, views, followers, comments, shares, you start measuring your worth using statistics. A post performs badly. You feel worthless. A post performs well. You feel valuable. That's dangerous. Because your self-worth shouldn't rise and fall with an algorithm. A number on a screen doesn't determine your value. Create because you have something to say. Work because you have something to build. Improve because you want to become better. Not because strangers might approve. 11. You will outgrow some POP. League growth changes relationships. Sometimes you'll become more disciplined. Someone else won't. You'll become more ambitious. Someone else won't. You'll change your priorities. Someone else won't. And eventually you may realize you don't fit together the same way. That doesn't automatically mean they're bad people. It means you're moving in different directions. Don't stay small just to keep everyone comfortable. If someone only likes you when you're struggling, that's not support. That's attachment to an old version of you. 12. Stop shrinking while you are SELF. Some people deliberately make themselves smaller. They hide their ambition. They pretend not to care. They don't talk about their goals. They avoid trying too hard. Why? Because they don't want people to think they're arrogant. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. You don't need to brag. But you also don't need to hide your potential. You are allowed to want more. You're allowed to work hard. You're allowed to dream big. You're allowed to improve. You're allowed to become someone. Your old self wouldn't recognize. 13. Your family's expectations are not your entire F2R. This is complicated. You should respect the people who care about you, but respect doesn't mean surrendering your entire future. Sometimes people around you have a specific idea of what success looks like. Good job, stable career, safe path, predictable life. And maybe that's exactly what you want. That's fine. But if your goals are different, you need to think carefully. You have one life. You need to take responsibility for the consequences of your choices, not live forever according to someone else's expectations. Listen, consider, then decide. 14. You don't need to prove yourself. Here's another trap. Trying to prove people wrong. Someone says, you'll never succeed. Now you're obsessed with proving them wrong. You work harder. You become successful, but guess what? You're still controlled by them because they're still the reason you're moving. A better goal is, don't prove them wrong. Prove yourself right. Build because you believe in the life you're creating, not because you need revenge. Your peace is more valuable than revenge. 15. Build internal validation instead of constantly asking, do they like me? Ask, do I respect myself? Instead of, did they approve? Ask, did I make a decision I'm proud of? Instead of, do they think I'm successful? Ask, am I becoming better? This is internal validation. You measure yourself by your values, your discipline, your effort, your character, your progress. That's much more stable than depending on outside approval. 16. Keep some goals private. Not every goal needs to be announced. Sometimes talking about your goals gives you the emotional reward before you've done the work. You tell everyone, I'm going to build this. People congratulate you. You feel accomplished, but you haven't actually done anything yet. Sometimes it's better to stay quiet. Work, build, Improve, then let the results speak. You don't need to announce every move. Quiet work creates loud results. 17. What if they laugh? Let them. What happens? De hilo. Then they move on. You continue. Ta. Yos. 1 year later. You might be in a completely different place. The temporary embarrassment isn't worth sacrificing years of potential. Think about the things you were embarrassed about 5 years ago. Most of them probably don't matter anymore. That's how quickly embarrassment disappears. But regret can stay. So choose carefully. Would you rather experience temporary embarrassment or long-term regret? 18 to 24-hour nitrogen monoxide approval challenge today? Try something for the next 24 hours. Don't ask for unnecessary approval. Don't ask, is this okay? Do you think I should do this? Do you like this? Unless you genuinely need someone's expertise or perspective. Make small decisions yourself. What you're going to work on. When you're going to work, what you want to learn. What habit you want to change. What distraction you want to remove. Start practicing independent decision. Because confidence isn't built by constantly asking other people what to do. It's built by making decisions and learning from them. 19. Know whose opinion actually matters. Not every opinion deserves equal weight. This is important. If you want to improve your business, listen to someone who has built a successful business. If you want to improve your fitness, listen to qualified experts. If you want to improve your communication, listen to people who actually understand communication. Don't let random people with no experience determine your direction. Ask, has this person earned the right to influence this decision? If not, their opinion can remain just an opinion. 20. Day 7 action plan today. Complete these 5 tasks. TASK1. Write down one thing. You're avoiding something you want to do, but you're scared of what people might think. Write it down. TASK. To ask yourself, if nobody judged me, would I still want this? If yes, take one step. Task 3. Make one decision without asking for approval. Small or big. Make it yourself. Task 4. Ignore one useless opinion, someone's criticism, a random comment, a negative thought. Don't give it power. Task 5. Do one thing you've been too scared to start, not the entire goal. Just the first step. Send the message. Record the video. Start the workout. Open the course. Write the first page. Make the first move. Final mensaje, live your life. Listen, you are going to disappoint some people. You are going to confuse some people. Some people won't understand you. Some people will criticize you. Some people will laugh. Some people will tell you that you're wasting your time. That's part of becoming your own person. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. You need to understand it yourself. Because at the end of your life, you won't be living with their opinions. You'll be living with your decisions. And that's why this matters. Imagine being 40 years old and realizing you spent your entire life trying to make everyone else happy. You chose the safe career because someone expected it. You avoided your dream because people might laugh. You stayed in the wrong environment because you were afraid of disappointing someone. You didn't start because you were afraid of failure. You didn't become the person you could have become because you were too busy asking everyone else who you were supposed to be. Don't let that happen. You have permission to grow. You have permission to change. You have permission to start over. You have permission to want more. You have permission to become different. You don't need to become arrogant. You don't need to ignore everyone. You don't need to stop listening. You simply need to stop outsourcing your identity. Listen to advice. Take useful criticism. Respect the people who love you. But ultimately, you have to live your life. And if you spend your entire life trying to avoid judgment, you'll end up judging yourself for never trying. So let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. You keep working. You keep learning. You keep building. You keep moving. Because eventually, the same people who questioned your direction may ask how you did it. But by then, you won't need their approval anymore. You'll have something much stronger, self-respect. You will know that you made your own decisions. You faced your fears. You accepted the risk. You took responsibility. And you became the person you said you wanted to become. That's real confidence. Not getting everyone to like you. Knowing you'll be okay even when someone doesn't. This is day 7. For 7 days, you've been changing one piece of your life at a time. Today, stop living for approval. Stop asking, what will they think? Start asking, what do I believe is right for my life? Stop asking, will they like me? Start asking, do I respect the person I'm becoming? Stop waiting for permission. Take responsibility. Your life is yours. Your time is yours. Your future is yours. Now start acting like it. Day 7 complete. 1 week down. 23 days to go. 1 day. 1 decision. 1 change at a time. Intro confidence is not something you're born WIT. Ask you something. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, I wish I had their confidence? Maybe they walk into a room without looking nervous. They speak without constantly second-guessing themselves. They don't seem worried about what everyone thinks. They take opportunities. They make decisions. They seem comfortable being themselves, and you think, maybe they're just naturally confident. But here's the truth. Most real confidence isn't something you're simply born with. It's built, and it's built through action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you do something you're afraid of, you build confidence. Every time you fail and keep going, you build confidence. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build confidence. Confidence isn't saying, I know I'll succeed. Confidence is saying, even if primera fail, I'll handle it. That's a completely different level of confidence. And today is day 8. We're going to build that one stop, waiting to feel CIO and FIDNT. This is where most people get stuck. They think, once I become confident, I'll start. No, you start and confidence comes later. You don't become confident before giving a presentation. You give presentations and eventually become confident. You don't become confident before going to the gym. You go to the gym, and slowly become comfortable. You don't become confident before creating content. You create content, You make mistakes. You improve, and confidence grows. Action creates evidence. Evidence creates belief. Belief creates confidence. So stop waiting for the feeling, move. First point to confidence. From keeping promises to why ourselves think about this. If you constantly tell yourself tomorrow I'll wake up early and then you don't, what happens? You start trusting yourself less. You say, I'll work out today. Then you skip it. I'll study tonight, Don't I'll stop wasting time. You continue. Every broken promise sends a message. I can't rely on myself. Now reverse it. You say, I'll wake up at 7. You do it. I'll work out. You do it. I'll finish this task. You finish Italiano, now your brain starts learning. When I say I'll do something, I do it. That's confidence, not compliments. Not expensive clothes, not followers. Self-trust, 3. Your self-image is built by your ACTIO and SU have an internal picture of yourself. Maybe you see yourself as lazy, shy, weak, inconsistent, unfocused, unco, nfident, but here's the problem, you keep proving that identity through your actions. If you think you're lazy, you act lazy. If you think you're weak, you avoid challenges. If you think you're bad at speaking, you avoid speaking. Then you say, see, that's just who I am. No, that's a pattern. And patterns can change. Start giving yourself new evidence. If you want to become disciplined, act disciplined. If you want to become confident, do uncomfortable things. If you want to become strong, trained. If you want to become capable, learn. Your identity changes when your behavior changes. 4, stop comparing yourself. Too confident, POP. See someone confident and compare yourself to their current version. That's unfair. You don't know how many years they've spent developing themselves. Maybe they used to be extremely shy. Maybe they failed hundreds of times. Maybe they struggled with insecurity. Maybe they had to force themselves into uncomfortable situations. You're seeing the result, not the process. So don't ask, why am I not like them? Ask, what can I learn from them? Turn comparison into education. 5. Do an uncomfortable thing every day. One of the fastest ways to build confidence. Do something uncomfortable. Every single day. Not dangerous, not reckless, just uncomfortable. Start a conversation. Speak up. Ask a question. Go to the gym. Record yourself. Publish something. Say no. Make a phone call. Learn something difficult. Walk into a room alone. Do the task you've been avoiding. Why? Because every time you face discomfort, your brain learns, I survived. Then tomorrow, the same thing feels slightly easier. That's how courage develops. 6, stop needing everyone to like. Why are we already discussed this on day 7? But confidence and approval are directly connected. If you need everyone to like you, you'll constantly change yourself. You'll change your opinions, your behavior, your appearance, your goals, your personality. You'll become whatever gets approval. That's exhausting. Real confidence says, I respect people, but I don't need everyone to approve of me. You can be kind without being a people pleaser. You can listen without obeying. You can accept criticism without collapsing. You can disagree without becoming angry. That's confidence yeti in your body. Affects your mind. Your physical state matters. Try this. Stand up. Straighten your back. Relax. Your shoulders lift your head. Take a deep breath. Look forward. Notice how different that feels compared with sitting collapsed over your phone. Your body and mind influence each other. That doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means taking care of your physical presence. Exercise. Sleep properly. Take care of your hygiene. Wear clothes that make you feel comfortable. Maintain good posture. Look people in the eye. Speak clearly. These aren't magic tricks. They're habits that reinforce self. 8. Stop talking yourself. People think insulting themselves makes them humble. It doesn't. You don't need to say I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm useless, I'm terrible at everything. That's not humility. That's self-destruction. You can acknowledge weaknesses without attacking your identity. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, say, I need more practice. Instead of, I'm a failure, say, that attempt failed. There's a massive difference. Attack the problem, not yourself. 9. Confidence doesn't mean you have nitrogen monoxide fear. This is important. Confident people still get nervous. They still feel fear. They still doubt themselves. They still experience rejection. The difference, they don't automatically obey the fear. Fear says, don't do it. Confidence says, I'm doing it anyway. Your goal isn't to eliminate fear. That's unrealistic. Your goal is to become stronger than your fear. 0.10. Stop overthinking. Every decision overthink destroys confidence. You think, what if this happens? What if they judge me? What if I fail? What if I choose wrong? You keep thinking and never act. At some point, you need to decide. You don't need perfect certainty. You need enough information to take the next step. Make the best decision you can, then learn from the outcome. Confidence grows when you trust yourself to handle consequences. 11. Learn to handle REGCTO when someone says, no, you don't get the opportunity. Your application gets rejected. Your video doesn't perform. Someone doesn't like your idea. You ask someone out. They say, no, it hurts. That's normal. But rejection isn't a measurement of your human value. It simply means that particular person or opportunity said no. Don't turn one rejection into, nobody will ever want me. Don't turn one failed opportunity into, I'll never succeed. Separate the event from your identity. You can lose an opportunity without losing yourself. 12. Stop trying to look serious. Is subtle. Some people desperately try to appear confident. They talk louder, act arrogant, brag, put others down, pretend they know everything. That's insecurity wearing a costume. Real confidence doesn't need constant performance. A confident person can say, I don't know. They can say, I was wrong. They can ask for help. They can admit mistakes. They don't need to prove they're the smartest person in the room. That's strength. 13. Become COMPDNT. One of the strongest sources of confidence is competence. Get good at something. Learn. Practice. Study. Train. Repeat. If you become genuinely good at a valuable skill. You don't need the fake confidency. You can perform. So choose something. Communication. Fitness. Writing. Video editing. Programming. Sales. Design. Business. Whatever matters to you. Then spend hundreds of hours becoming better. Skill creates confidence. 14. Done. Break your routine because of one bad day. You're going to have bad days. You'll be tired. You'll feel lazy. You'll lose focus. You'll make mistakes. That's normal. The mistake isn't having a bad day. The mistake is turning one bad day into a bad week, one bad week into a bad month, one bad month into I always fail. Don't do that. Fall off the routine. Return. Miss a workout. Return. Waste a day. Return. Confidence grows when you prove. Even when I fall, I come back. 15. Build a personal STNDRD instead of asking, what do other people expect from me? Create your own standard. Ask, what kind of person do I want to be? Maybe your standard is, you keep my word. I train my body. I protect my time. I speak honestly. Finish what I start. I don't quit when things become difficult. I treat people with respect. I keep learning. Take responsibility. Now. Live according to that. Standard. Your confidence will grow because you're becoming someone you respect. 16. Stop waiting for the perfect version of YO. You don't need to become confident before starting. You don't need to become fit before going to the gym. You don't need to become skilled before creating. You don't need to become fearless before taking action. You don't need to become perfect. Start imperfectly. Your first attempt might be embarrassing. Good, your second will probably be better. Your 10th will be better. Your 100th might surprise you. Progress requires repetition. 17. The confidence Lopi here's the cycle. Action. Evidence is self-trust, confidence. If you get action, you take action. You see that you survived. You realize you're capable. Your self-trust increases, your confidence increases, then you're willing to take a bigger challenge. That's how you grow. But there's another cycle. Avoidance, less evidence, less confidence, more avoidance. That's why avoidance is dangerous. Every time you avoid something because you're afraid, you teach yourself, I can't handle this. Break the cycle. Take the first S. Final mensaje, become someone you trust. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to become the loudest person in the room. You don't need to impress everyone. You don't need millions of followers. You don't need expensive clothes. You don't need to pretend you're fearless. You need something much simpler. You need to trust yourself. Trust that you'll do what you said you'd do. Trust that you'll get back up after failure. Trust that you'll learn when you don't know. Trust that you'll handle rejection. Trust that you'll keep moving when things get difficult. That's real confidence. And you don't build it by thinking about it. You build it through evidence. Every workout, every difficult conversation, every early morning, every finished task, every uncomfortable decision, every time you say no to distraction, every time you keep your word, you're sending a message to yourself. I can rely on me. That's powerful. Because when you trust yourself, you stop needing constant reassurance. You stop waiting for permission. You stop being terrified of failure. You stop asking everyone what they think. You start moving. And once you start moving, your life starts changing. Maybe you're not confident today. Tate se okai. Maybe you're insecure. Tate se okai. Maybe you're scared. Tate se okai. But don't use those feelings as an excuse to stay where you are. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act. Confidence will follow. So, tomorrow. Don't try to become a completely different person. Just keep one promise. Face one fear. Improve one skill. Take one step, then do it again. And again, until one day you look back at the person you used to be and realize, I'm not that person anymore. This is day 8. 8 days of choosing growth. 8 days of refusing to stay exactly where you were. And we're not finished. You still have 22 days. So keep going. Build the discipline. Build the mindset. Build the confidence. Build yourself. Because the goal isn't to become someone everyone else admires. The goal is to become someone you respect. One day, one decision, one uncomfortable step at a time. Day 8 complete. What happens when you don't feel like it? Let's be honest, it's easy to work when you're motivated. It's easy to wake up early. When you're excited about your goals, it's easy to exercise when you feel energetic. It's easy to study when you're inspired. It's easy to work hard when you can see the reward. But what happens when the excitement disappears? What happens when you wake up tired? What happens when you don't feel like working? What happens when nobody is watching? What happens when progress feels slow? That's where most people quit. Not because they don't have potential, not because they're incapable, but because they built their life around motivation, and motivation is unreliable. It comes, it goes. Some days, you're unstoppable. Other days, you don't want to get out of bed if your success depends on how you feel. Your results will always be inconsistent. That's why today is day 9. Today we're talking about something stronger than motivation. Discipline. Because motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you moving. 1. Motivation is not the PROB. Isn't bad. It's useful. A motivational video can inspire you. Powerful speech can wake you up. A new goal can make you excited. But motivation has one major weakness. It doesn't last. You watch a motivational video at night, you feel unstoppable. You make a plan. Tomorrow morning, the alarm rings. Suddenly, the motivation is gone. You hit snooze and the plan disappears. Why? Because motivation is based on emotion and emotions change. You cannot build a stable life on something unstable. That's why you need discipline. 2. Discipline means doing isn't waking up every day feeling powerful. Discipline is waking up when you don't feel like it. It's studying when you'd rather scroll. It's exercising when you're tired. It's working when nobody's watching. It's keeping your promise when the excitement is gone. Discipline says, and then asks, what needs to be done? That's it. No drama, no negotiation, no endless thinking, just execution. Point 3. Stop. Negotiating with Wayawara Saleftis is one of the biggest productivity killers. Your alarm rings, think. 5 more minutes. Then I'll start after breakfast. Then I'll do it tonight. Then today was busy. I'll start tomorrow. You're constantly negotiating that. Every time you negotiate with yourself, you make discipline weaker. Create rules instead. If your rule is, when my alarm rings, I get up, then there is nothing to discuss. If your rule is I train every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you don't wake up asking whether you feel like it. The decision has already been made. That's powerful. 4. Make fewer DC's I's O and S. Every decision uses mental energy. What time should I wake up? Should I work out? Should I study? Should I work now or later? Should I check my phone? Should I watch one video? Should I take a break? If you keep deciding, you'll eventually choose comfort. Instead, create routines. Same wake up time, same workout schedule. Same work block, same study time. Same evening routine. The goal is to make the right action automatic. You don't need to become a machine. You simply need fewer opportunities to talk yourself out of doing what matters. 5. Discipline is a musali about physical training. The first workout is difficult. Your body isn't used to it, but you continue. Eventually, your body adapts. Discipline works similarly. At first, waking up early feels difficult. Working without your phone feels difficult. Saying no feels difficult. Finishing tasks feels difficult, but repetition changes you. Every time you do something difficult, you make the next difficult thing slightly easier. You're training your ability to act despite discomfort. That's discipline. 6. Start SMA where people make a mistake. They decide to transform their entire life overnight tomorrow. 5 a.m. wake up. To our workout, 3 hours of studying, perfect diet. No social media. 5 books. 10 goals. And by day 3, everything collapses. Why? Because the plan was unrealistic. Don't try to become perfect. Build one habit, then another. Start with 10 minutes of reading. 20 minutes of exercise. 30 minutes of focused work. 1 hour without social media. 1 important task completed. Small wins create momentum. 7. Keep your daily promise small enough to remember. Day 8. We talked about keeping promises to yourself. This matters even more here. Don't promise, I'll work for 5 hours every day forever. Promise something realistic. I'll work for 30 focused minutes today. Then do it. Tomorrow. Do it again. The goal isn't to impress yourself for one day. The goal is to become someone who can be trusted for months. Consistency beats intensity. 8. The Today Arule. Here's a simple rule. Never miss twice. Miss one workout. Fine. Don't miss the next one. Waste one day. It happens. Don't waste tomorrow. Eat badly one day. Don't turn it into an entire week. Lose focus today. Return tomorrow. The problem isn't falling off. Everyone falls off. The problem is staying down. Never let one bad day become your identity. Stop looking for the perfect chemo. There will always be an excuse. You're tired. You're busy. You're stressed. The weather isn't right. You don't have enough money. Don't have enough knowledge. You don't have enough time. Sometimes those problems are real. But if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll wait forever. Let's start with what you have. Let's start where you are. Start badly. Start slowly. But start, because imperfect action creates progress. Perfect planning creates nothing. 10. Discipline requires a Seshire Fasi can't have everything. If you want more time for your goals, something else has to decrease. Less scrolling, less pointless entertainment, less parching, less unnecessary drama. Less random conversations. Less comfort. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. It means you need priorities. You can't spend 5 hours on entertainment and then complain that you don't have time for your goals. Your time is finite. Your choices have consequences. 11. Comfort is EXP and SIV. Comfort feels good now, but too much comfort becomes expensive later. Sleeping in feels good now, but regret can come later. Scrolling feels good. Now, when lost opportunities come later, avoiding difficult work feels good now, but weakness remains later. Discipline is the opposite. Discipline often feels difficult now, but creates freedom later. You sacrifice comfort today so your future can become easier. That's the trade point 1-2. Don't depend on WLLP or WR willpower is limited. If your environment constantly tempts you, eventually you'll give in. So make the environment easier. Put your phone in another room. Delete distracting apps. Keep your workout clothes ready. Prepare your workspace the night before. Healthy food available. Block. Distracting websites. Make the good choice easier. Make the bad choice harder. You don't need superhuman willpower. You need a smart environment. 13. Your habits are voting for your idea in TIT. Why every action is a vote. When you exercise, you're voting for. I'm someone who takes care of my body. When you study, you're voting for. I'm someone who invests in my future. When you keep your promises, you're voting for. I'm someone who can trust myself. When you waste 5 hours scrolling, you're voting for another identity. One action doesn't define you, but repeated actions create patterns, and patterns create identity. So ask yourself, what kind of person am I voting to become today? 14. Discipline when nobody is W18 can perform when people are watching. The real test happens when nobody knows. Nobody sees you studying. Nobody sees you exercising. Nobody sees you working late. Nobody sees you saying no to distractions nobody knows. And that's exactly why it matters. Because you're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because you decided your future matters. That's a different level of discipline. 15. Stop chasing instant. RS is one of the biggest reasons people quit. They work for 1 week and expect transformation. They exercise for 10 days and expect a completely different body. They post videos for 2 weeks and expect millions of views. They learn for a month and expect mastery, reality. Doesn't work like that. Most meaningful. Results are invisible at first. You work. Nothing seems to happen. You work again, still nothing. You keep going. Then, suddenly, the results become visible. That's the power of compounding. 16. Boarding days. A part of the PROC is something nobody wants to hear. Success is often boring. Same workout, same practice, same work, same routine, same effort, again, and end. Again, there won't always be excitement. There won't always be inspirational music. There won't always be a breakthrough. Sometimes the biggest step forward is simply doing the same thing. Again, learn to love repetition. Because repetition creates mastery. 17. Don't make your mood your boss. Your mood shouldn't control your schedule. If you only work when you're happy, you won't work consistently. If you only exercise when you're energetic, you won't exercise consistently. If you only study when you're motivated, you won't study consistently. Your mood can be acknowledged, but it doesn't have to be obeyed. You can say, I'm tired, and still do the work. You can say, I'm nervous, and still take the step. You can say, I don't feel motivated, and still continue. That's strength. 18, the 10-minute rule when you don't feel like doing something. Tell yourself I'll do it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of exercise. 10 minutes of studying. 10 minutes of writing. 10 minutes of cleaning. 10 minutes of focused work. Often, once you start, you continue. But even if you stop after 10 minutes, you still kept your promise. The goal is to break the resistance to starting because starting is usually the hardest part. 19. Create a non-negotiable. Choose one thing that you will do every day. It could be reading, exercise, writing, meditation, learning, working on your business, creating content. Choose one. Then make it non-negotiable. Even if you only do 10 minutes. Do Italiano. You're building the identity. I don't break this promise. Over time. That becomes part of who you are. 20. Your day 9 challenge today. Complete these 5 tasks. TASK. 1. Pick one non-negotiable. Choose one habit. Do it today. DASKY. To remove one distraction, delete or block one thing that repeatedly steals your time. Task 3. Do one thing you don't feel like doing. Don't wait for motivation. Do it anyway. Task 4. Use the 10-minute rule. Start something you've been avoiding. Only promise yourself 10 minutes. Task 5, write this sentence. I don't need motivation. I need to keep my promise. Put it somewhere you'll see it tomorrow morning. 21. The nightly discipline check tonight. Ask yourself 3 questions. Did I do what I said I would do? Where did I choose comfort over growth? What will I do differently tomorrow? Don't use these questions to attack yourself. Use them to improve. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means correction. You notice the mistake. Ten adjust. Final mensaje, do it anyway. Let me tell you something. There will be days when you don't feel like becoming the person you said you wanted to become. There will be mornings when your bed feels better than your goals. There will be nights when your phone feels more attractive than your future. There will be moments when quitting feels easier. And that's normal. You don't need to eliminate those feelings. You need to stop letting them make your decisions. Because the future version of you is built on the days when you didn't feel like it. Anyone can work when they're motivated. Anyone can be disciplined when life is easy. But who are you when things become difficult? That's the real test. When nobody is watching, do you still work? When progress is slow, do you still continue? When you fail, do you return? When motivation disappears, do you keep your promise? Because that's where transformation happens. Not during the exciting moments. During the boring ones. During the difficult ones. During the days nobody sees. Those are the days that change you. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect mood. Stop waiting for the perfect morning. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Do it anyway. Wake up anyway. Train anyway. Study anyway. Work anyway. Create anyway. Start anyway. Keep going anyway. You don't have to feel powerful. You just have to take the next step. And then another and another. Until the person who once needed motivation for everything becomes the person who simply does what needs to be done. That's discipline. And discipline changes everything. Because once you become disciplined, you don't have to constantly fight yourself. Your habits start carrying you. Your routine starts carrying you. Your standards start carrying you. Your identity starts carrying you. You become someone who doesn't need to ask, do I feel like it? You ask, what needs to be done? And then you do it. That's the person we're building. Not perfect. Not emotionless. Not superhuman. Who's reliable, focused, consistent, strong enough to keep going. This is day 9. 9 days into the transformation. You've already learned to take control of your life. You've learned to manage your time. You've learned to stop seeking approval. You've learned to build confidence. Now you're learning the skill that holds everything together. Discipline, because your goals don't need another motivational speech. They need your daily actions. So, tonight, make one promise. Tomorrow, keep it. Then make another. Keep that one too. One promise. One action. One day. Repeat it long enough. And you'll become someone you never thought you could be. Don't wait for motivation. Build discipline. Do it anyway. Day 9 complete. One day. One decision. One change at a time. Because repetition creates mastery.
Listen carefully. There comes a moment in every man's life when he has to stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility. Maybe your life isn't where you want it to be. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you've wasted years. Maybe you've failed more times than you can count. Maybe nobody believes in you. Good. Because you don't need a perfect situation to start changing your life. You need a decision that says, I'm done living below my potential. That decision won't magically fix your life. But it will change your direction. And direction matters, because if you keep walking in the same direction, you will eventually arrive at the same destination. If your habits don't change, your life won't change. If your thinking doesn't change, your decisions won't change. And if your decisions don't change, your results won't change. That's the truth. You cannot build a different future while repeating the same behavior that created your current situation. So the first thing you need to do is become brutally honest with yourself. Look at your life. Look at how you spend your time. Look at your habits. Look at your money. Look at your health. Look at the people around you. Look at what you do when nobody is watching. Then ask yourself, am I actually doing the things required? To become the person I say I want to be? If the answer is no, don't make excuses. Fix it. You don't need to hate yourself. You need to challenge yourself. There is a difference. You are not your mistakes, but you are responsible for what you do after making them. Maybe you wasted the last 5 years. You can't get them back, but you can stop wasting the next 5. Maybe you made terrible decisions. Learn from them. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Become wiser. Maybe you failed. Study the failure. Your past can be a teacher. It should never become your prison. And understand this. Nobody is coming to save you. Your parents can't live your life for you. Your friends can't build your future. Your partner can't give you discipline. Your boss can't give you ambition. You have to build yourself. And that responsibility is actually good news, because once you accept responsibility, you regain control. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you control your response. You control your effort. You control your habits. You control what you learn. You control where you put your attention. You control whether you get back up. That is where your power is. Stop wasting energy on things you cannot control. You cannot control what people think. You cannot control who likes you. You cannot control who leaves. You cannot control the past. You cannot control every opportunity, but you can control what you do today. And today is enough. You don't need to solve your entire life today. You need to make today better. Wake up earlier. Exercise. Do the difficult task. Learn something valuable. Save some money. Read. Build. Create. Make the phone less important. Make your future more important. Because your future is being created by your daily choices. Every day is a vote. Every workout is a vote for strength. Every hour of studying is a vote for intelligence. Every dollar you save is a vote for freedom. Every difficult task you complete is a vote for discipline. And every hour you waste is also a vote. Your habits are voting for the person you're becoming. So choose carefully. You don't need motivation every day. You need discipline. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a decision. You won't always feel like working. Work anyway. You won't always feel like exercising. Train anyway. You won't always feel confident. Move anyway. You won't always feel ready. Start anyway. Successful people aren't successful because they always feel motivated. They're successful because they learned how to act without needing motivation. That's a skill. Build it. And don't expect the journey to be easy. Life is going to test you. There will be rejection. There will be failure. There will be disappointment. There will be days when everything seems to go wrong. Don't interpret difficulty as a sign that you're on the wrong path. Sometimes difficulty is simply the price of growth. A strong body requires resistance. A strong mind requires challenges. A successful career requires difficult decisions. A meaningful life requires responsibility. You cannot become strong by avoiding everything that makes you uncomfortable. You become strong by facing it. So stop running from discomfort. Use it. Wake up when it's hard. Have the conversation you're avoiding. Learn the skill you don't understand. Apply for the opportunity you're afraid of. Put yourself in situations where you might fail. Because failure isn't the enemy. Fear of failure is. If you never risk failure, you also eliminate the possibility of extraordinary success. You will fail. Accept it. Your first attempt may be terrible. Your first business may fail. Your first video may get no views. Your first job application may be rejected. Your first relationship may not work. That's life. Don't turn one bad result into a permanent identity. You didn't fail because you're incapable. You failed because that attempt didn't work. Learn. Adjust. Try again. The person who keeps learning eventually becomes dangerous because every failure gives them information. Every rejection teaches them something. Every difficult experience adds another layer of resilience. And eventually, the things that once scared them don't have the same power. That's what growth looks like. Not becoming fearless, becoming harder to stop. And while you're building yourself, stop comparing your life to everyone else. Social media has destroyed people's perception of reality. You see someone's success, you don't see their struggle. You see the new car, you don't see the debt. You see the vacation. You don't see the years of work. You see the perfect relationship. You don't see what happens behind closed doors. Stop comparing your reality to someone's highlight reel. Your journey is your journey. Maybe you're behind. So what? Start now. Maybe someone your age is already successful. Good for them. Learn from them. Don't hate them. Their success doesn't make your success impossible. There is room for you. But you need to stop looking sideways. Look forward. Your competition is yesterday's version of yourself. Can you become better? Can you become stronger? Can you become smarter? Can you become more disciplined? That's the game. And don't underestimate what 1 year of serious effort can do. 1 year of training can transform your body. 1 year of studying can transform your knowledge. 1 year of saving can transform your finances. 1 year of creating can transform your career. 1 year of discipline can transform your identity. But most people don't give themselves a full year. They give themselves 7 days. Then they quit because the results aren't dramatic. That's stupid. Real change takes time. You didn't build your current habits overnight. You won't destroy them overnight either. Give yourself time. But don't give yourself excuses. Be patient with results. Be ruthless with your effort. And remember that consistency beats intensity. You don't need to destroy yourself for 3 days and quit. You need to show up for 300 days. Small actions. Repeated. That single quote says how massive change happens. And you need to protect your environment. Your environment matters more than you think. If everyone around you is constantly negative, you'll eventually start thinking negatively. If everyone around you wastes time, wasting time becomes normal. If everyone around you has no ambition, ambition can start feeling strange. Choose your circle. You don't need hundreds of friends. You need a few people who respect growth, people who keep their word, people who work, people who learn, people who take responsibility. And sometimes, you need to spend time alone. Not because you're better than everyone, because you need to hear your own thoughts. You need to know what you actually want, not what social media tells you to want, not what your friends want. Not what strangers expect. What do you want? What kind of man do you want to become? What kind of life would make you proud? Answer those questions. Then build toward them, and stop trying to impress everyone. You will never succeed at that. Someone will always criticize you. Someone will always think you're doing too much. Someone will always think you're not doing enough. Someone will always have an opinion. Let them. You don't need their permission. Build a life you respect. Not a life that looks impressive for 10 seconds online. Real success is having control over yourself. Being able to say no, being able to delay pleasure, being able to keep your promises, being able to handle pressure. Being able to walk away from things that destroy you, being able to continue when things become difficult. That's strength. And if you want money, learn how to create value. Don't just chase money. Become valuable. Learn skills. Solve problems. Communicate. Sell. Create. Lead. Build. The world rewards people who can solve valuable problems. So stop asking, how can I get rich quickly? Ask, what can I become extremely good at? That's a better question. Because skills compound. Knowledge compounds. Relationships compound. Money compounds. Habits compound. Your choices today become easier or harder consequences tomorrow. That's why you need to think long term. Don't destroy your future for temporary pleasure. Don't spend money just to impress people. Don't destroy your health for entertainment. Don't sacrifice your goals for people who won't be there when you succeed. Learn delayed gratification. Do what is difficult now, so your future can become easier. And take care of your body. You don't need to become a professional athlete, but you need to respect your health. Exercise. Eat better. Sleep properly. Take care of your mind. Your body is the vehicle you're using to build your future. Don't destroy it. And protect your attention. Your attention is one of your most valuable assets. If you give it to endless scrolling, drama, gossip, and meaningless entertainment, don't be surprised when you have nothing left for your goals. Your phone is a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you. Create more than you consume. Learn more than you complain. Build more than you watch. And every night, ask yourself one question. Did I move my life forward today? Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is no. If it's no, don't lie to yourself. Fix tomorrow. That's how you build self-respect. Self-respect isn't something you buy. You earn it by keeping promises to yourself. When you say you'll do something, and you actually do it, you build trust with yourself. Do that enough times, and you become confident. Not fake confidence. Real confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing, I can rely on myself. That's powerful, because life becomes much easier when you trust yourself. You know that if something goes wrong, you'll handle it. If you fail, you'll recover. If someone leaves, you'll survive. If the plan changes, you'll adapt. If you don't know something, you'll learn. That's resilience. And resilience is more valuable than motivation, because motivation gets you started. Resilience keeps you going. There will be days when you're exhausted. Rest. Then continue. There will be days when you're confused. Learn. There will be days when you're afraid. Act carefully. But act. There will be days when you feel alone. Use the silence. There will be days when you want to quit. Remember why you started. You don't have to win every day, but don't surrender. Sometimes the biggest victory is simply refusing to stop. And one day, you will look back. You'll remember the version of yourself who didn't know what he was doing. You'll remember the mistakes. The failures, the rejection. The nights you questioned yourself, the mornings you wanted to quit, and you'll realize something. Those moments were building you. The struggle taught you discipline. The failure taught you humility. The rejection taught you resilience. The loneliness taught you independence. The responsibility taught you maturity. The difficult years taught you what actually matters. So don't waste your pain. Use it. Turn it into fuel. Turn frustration into action. Turn fear into preparation. Turn failure into education. Turn dreams into goals. Turn goals into habits. Turn habits into results. That's the process. And it starts with one decision. Decide that your life is worth taking seriously. Not next year. Not next month. Today. You don't need to become perfect. You need to become consistent. You don't need to know everything. You need to keep learning. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe enough to keep going. You don't need a perfect life. You need a meaningful one. So get up. Get serious. Take responsibility. Build your body. Build your mind. Build your skills. Build your finances. Build your character. Build your future. And when life gets difficult, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What can I do about it?" That question separates victims from builders. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can control your response. And your response, repeated over time, becomes your life. So stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for permission. Start. Start badly. Start small. Start scared. Just start. Because 5 years from now, you will either be grateful that you started today. Or you'll wish you had. The choice is being made right now. So make the right one. Become the person you keep saying you want to become. Not through words. Through action. One day. One decision. One habit. One sacrifice. One step at a time. And eventually, you'll look around and realize you didn't just change your life. You changed yourself. And that is the real definition of success.
Success is not easy. And if someone tells you it is, they are lying to you. You will have days when you feel unstoppable, and you will have days when you question everything. You will work hard and still see no results. You will sacrifice your comfort while other people are enjoying theirs. You will wake up early when you want to sleep. You will keep going when nobody believes in you. And sometimes you'll do everything right and still fail. That is the part nobody talks about. People love the final result. They love the money. They love the body. They love the confidence. They love the lifestyle, but they don't see the thousands of hours. Behind it, they don't see the rejection, they don't see the lonely nights, they don't see the moments when you almost quit. Success demands a price, and the price is consistency. You cannot work hard only when you feel motivated. Motivation disappears, discipline stays. There will be mornings when you don't want to get up, head up anyway. There will be days when you don't want to train. Train anyway. There will be moments when you feel like your dream is too far away. Keep moving anyway. Because success isn't built during the days when everything feels good, it's built during the days when everything feels impossible.